Hey family, and welcome to my channel. My name is Brittany. Listen, today's message is going to be titled, "This Forgiveness is Attached to Your Grace." So y'all, the Lord had been dealing with me, right? As it pertains to forgiveness, as it pertains to forgiving people that have wronged me, as it, pertains to forgiving people of the past, all of these things, right? And so I got this message when I actually needed to receive this message myself, okay? And so I was dealing with this company and I felt like this company really was playing in my face, okay? Like I felt like they was really doing me wrong. So I was about to turn into one of those, can I speak to the manager, going on BBB, writing corporate, like all of these things, okay? But as I was, because I really felt like these people had wronged me, and it's like I am the type of person, like, I do not like injustice. So, we're gonna be fair all across the board. And I felt like this company was not being fair to me. So as I was getting ready to go all in on them and just like, okay, because I want you to be just and I want you to treat every customer the same. I clicked over because I was like getting ready to go to the post office and get me some envelopes so that we can get it cracking. And so as I thought about this, right? So as I'm getting ready, like I'm setting in motion, I'm getting ready to go do these things, I clicked over and I get a phone call. And so it was to a bill collector that I was like, okay, I know I don't have the money to pay them right now. I am going to pay them Friday. I know they've been waiting. I was actually saving that phone call for the end of the day, kind of putting it off because I'm like, man, I don't have the money. I know, like when you run a business, I know that people don't want to hear excuses. So I'm just like, man. And so the person that the bill collector for me actually called me. So this is somebody who I actually owe money to. And so I began to just explain to him the situation. Like, I know you've been waiting a few weeks. I get paid on Friday. I'll be able to come in and take care of my balance then, and things like that. Because I like to pay my stuff on time. So anytime something comes up to where, a payment's not going to be on time or something like that, I'm always kind of reluctant because I like to pay my bills because I understand how business works. And so the man was like, oh, that's fine. He was like, you're a business person. Like, I know you're going to pay me. Like, it ain't no big deal, like that sort of thing. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool, good. And then I heard in my spirit right away, because I wasn't going to click back over and get back on that type of time. So I'm like, I heard in my spirit, grace for grace, right? And how many times have you guys held on to resentment, held on to bitterness, and then you expect God to give you grace in another part of your life? So now you're holding yourself up because the enemy is using this against you. The enemy is using that as an offense against you, that you're harboring unforgiveness in your heart. And so now you're asking God to bless you in another area of your life, but you haven't forgiven this person that's in your heart. That's one of the quickest schemes of the enemy. The minute I get stuck, I begin to think, who am I still holding on something to? Who haven't I released in my heart? Everybody got their grace, because, and then I was reminded of the story of the unmerciful servant in Matthew 18. Okay, whereas he presented to God with his family and he was like, God, give me grace. I can't give it all to you right now. And God wiped the slate clean. Okay. But when it came to his servant was like, hey, I can't pay you today. I can't, there was no mercy. He showed his servant no mercy. And we know how the Lord dealt with that. Like, you cannot ask for grace and then not show grace. Now, how many times have we asked God, to forgive us? Now, just imagine if the Lord told us it's going to be 7 to 10 months before I can't get over it right now. I can't forgive you. Right. It was too much. Imagine. I could not imagine. So the minute we ask God to forgive us, he gives us that grace. He extends that grace right away. He blocks it out of his memory, what we didn't even done. And here it is. Somebody can hurt you so bad that you hold on to that thing. The Bible says in Proverbs that bitterness dries up the bones. Okay. Bitterness, holding on to, but it says that cheerfulness is our good medicine. Okay. That's why it's like drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. It's only doing something to hurt you. It's hurting you on the inside and the outside. But this particular message is about Whatever person comes to mind, whatever person that you have not forgiven in your heart, the enemy is using this resentment, is using this unforgiveness against you, where you need blessings in another part of your life. That thing, the enemy is using that as an offense against you. Okay. So it's something that you got to pray about. And I know people do. We living in the times where people do way too much. And I know people do things that have hurt some of you guys. And I know some people don't, I'm going to be honest, some people, I shouldn't say that, but you might feel like some people don't deserve to be forgiven, but God is saying forgive everybody, even those enemies. The Bible tells us to pray for our enemies, because if someone has intentionally wronged you, they already got to answer to God. We don't have to carry that, because these people already got to answer to God. Okay? So we can use our free will. We can be upset and stuck, okay? Or we can show that same mercy and forgiveness so that we can move on and move forward in life, okay? Because soon as we forgive, soon as we ask to be forgiven, God forgives us, okay? And sometimes it's not so easy to let it go. And forgiveness don't mean that you got to reconnect with the person, okay? And sometimes it's not easy to let go. People can do some things, okay? And I know it's not always easy to let go. But God said, forgive them 70 times 7. That means every time you think about it, forgive this person again. Because your destiny is too important. Your breakthroughs are too important to be holding on to unforgiveness. It's too important. And this is one of the simplest tools that the enemy uses as an offense against us. Oh, they want that thing, but God, you said in your word to forgive. They haven't forgiven this person in their heart. Okay. So, where we at? Things cannot be, some things or a thing that you might want could be held up because you haven't forgiven someone who has wronged you. You haven't forgiven that person that has hurt you. And I don't want y'all to miss no blessings. Don't leave no blessings on the table. Don't leave no room for the enemy to use something like this against you. Excuse me. And I know it's hard. It's hard. It can be hard, okay? But God is saying grace for grace. I kept hearing in my spirit, grace for grace. This forgiveness is attached to your grace. So who is it from your past that you need to forgive, okay? Who is this message for? If somebody owes you something, if they owe you money, tell them keep it, okay? You've done a bad business deal or something like that, let them keep it. Because people that intentionally wrong you, they already have to deal with the Lord. Okay. There's no sense of you holding on to it as well. Okay. That ex, forgive them. Even if you ain't never heard them say that they're sorry, even if the damage that they caused was a lot, forgive them. God said, release them. Let it go. Okay. The trauma that someone caused you, forgive them. Release it. And do what you need to do to be mentally healthy and to release it. If you need therapy, seek therapy. Okay? Release these people in your heart. They do not need to live in your mind and your heart rent free, because a lot of the times we can fall victim to something and these people have already moved on. They live in their life. It ain't hurting them none. Again, it's like you're drinking the poison and expecting them to die. It don't work like that. Okay. What your family did to you, forgive them, release it. I know that it's a lot of black sheep that come through on this channel. God's saying, forgive it. Forgive them. God is your family. God will send you your people in your season. And sometimes you can meet friends that are closer to you than your own family. Okay. Expect God to do a thing for you in your family life. Okay. That old boss, that old best friend, that old abuser and attacker, forgive them. Again, people who have intentionally wronged you have to be forgiven in this season, because your grace is too important, okay? Your breakthroughs are too important to be held up by something like unforgiveness, okay? That betrayer, forgive them, okay? Your grace is directly connected to who it is that you need to forgive, what it is you need to release in your heart, what it is you need to release in your mind. And I know people can do the most, and I know people can do hurtful things, and it'll leave a mark. And you'll think about it day in and day out and how this person wronged you. And some of y'all be like, God, I gotta get them back. And God is saying, release it, and let it go, because half of the time it ain't doing nothing for the other person. It ain't doing nothing for them. It ain't doing nothing to them. But the more you hold on to this, the minute you get stuck, the first thing, and I'm talking about stuck in life, stuck in breakthrough, stuck in blessings. Who is it that you need to forgive? Whether it's somebody from your past or it's something that happened yesterday. Who is it that you need to give grace so that you can receive grace? Okay, we don't think about that too much, but this is a real thing. And this is something that I even realized in my life. Enemy, the enemy want to use this against me. Okay, and y'all know what I like to say, run up, get done up, because it ain't going to be something like that that's going to stop me from my breakthrough. I'm going to forgive them. And I'm honestly going to forgive these people from my heart. If it's something that I am holding in my heart, I forgive them. You want me to call them? You want me to send them a text? Say, hey, I'm going to be the bigger person and let this go. Because I do it. and the minute I realize that I'm stuck, that's the first thing that I'm checking for. Where's my heart posture? Okay, why is it, what is it that the enemy is trying to use against me to keep me stuck? Because I need to address it today. Okay, so if you don't believe me that your grace is attached to more grace for you, read Matthew 18:23, okay, about the unmerciful servant. So, but again, forgiveness don't always mean reconnect. It's just saying that I respect you enough to move on and move forward with my life. I'm not going to let this ruin me and destroy me anymore. I'm not going to carry this burden anymore. I'm going to put this burden on where it belongs and where it needs to go, and that's with the Lord. Now it's just you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with it no more. And a lot of you guys need to be taking it to those levels. Oh, that's how you level it up. Oh, that's corporate. That's the most corporate it needs to be, is giving it back to the Lord, because he deals with situations, okay? You can be an entertainer and an angel unaware. They can have an angel in a room unaware. Somebody that don't even know you at that corporation. Somebody don't even know you at that job that will stand up and speak for you because you've already prayed and left it in the God's hands. Okay? And somebody that will step up and say, somebody of importance to say, you done this person wrong. And now, y'all, what y'all did wasn't right. Somebody to actually speak up because you didn't gave it to God. That's between you and God now. I ain't got nothing to do with it no more. Don't let the enemy use unforgiveness against you, because he will. Okay, I can testify to that he will. And a lot of the times it be sneaky. It don't be the most obvious thing. It don't be that, somebody, you get into it with somebody. It could be, a co-parenting situation that's like, I'm about sick of this. It could be something so subtle, and the enemy can use that as an offense against you. Hold on. We ain't doing that over here. We're not doing that. Okay? I respect you enough to move on. So, again, we talked about praying for your enemies. Again, they already got to answer to God. Read Matthew 5:44 through 45. They already have to answer to God. And forgive yourself for any past mistakes, anything that you need to release it on today. Right? Forgive these people, even the people that haven't told you that they were sorry, even the people that ain't sorry, even the people that intentionally done you wrong. And I know you want to get them back. That's how you get them back. You let it go. You be the bigger person. They pick up the phone and they like, yeah. You like, hello. You have been forgiven. I done let it go on today. We're not going to argue about this anymore. If we cannot reach a conclusion, we cannot settle the matter, then I'm no longer going to be talking to you. I'm just not going to pick up my phone. Blocked. You getting blocked. And so that's pretty much the message, y'all. This forgiveness is attached to more grace for you, okay? And the message is called Grace for Grace. So take this message back to the Lord. Look up the scriptures that I have released in this message. And until the next video, y'all, bye for now.